Hi, welcome back. Today I am very excited because I am joined by my two of my three beautiful daughters, Cassidy and Avery. They have graciously agreed to come on here with me today to talk with you. So we wanted to share a little bit about some of the things that God is teaching us that we're working on with each other. One of the most challenging things for this stage in life is, you have some moments where big feelings are flying and we call them emotional storms. Like you just have a freak out, bottom line, where everything is wrong. You're so upset. Maybe you're crying, maybe you're mad. I don't know how storms express themselves in your house. Ours usually involve tears, I would say. But I know in other houses they may express differently. Maybe you get angry, maybe you shut down and get like a storm for you is very quiet. You're like the eye of a hurricane and you're just like, you don't come out of your room. But it can be really hard for moms and daughters to communicate in those moments. Because as a mom, you freak out. You're like, oh my goodness, my girl is upset and I don't want her to be upset. I would do anything to protect her and keep her from being upset. But we don't always know how to help and how to listen and what to say. And I know not everyone watching this is like a mom-daughter combination, but maybe you're a grandmother of a teen and you want to know how to help her, how to communicate, or you're just a youth mentor and you have a girl that you really love and you're invested in, whatever your role is. So I thought I would start by asking you guys, when you're in the middle of an emotional storm and you're really upset, what do you need from me or whoever the woman, in your case, whoever's listening, from the woman in your life who you go to for help? Like, what do you need?
I would say just someone to listen. Like, sometimes, getting advice is great, but like when you're in the middle of all that, like you kind of just need to get it all out and you just need someone to listen and not necessarily like try to fix it yet. Like later on it's good, but
right.
Like you kind of just, you're not ready like to deal with it yet. You just need to like get it out first and process it. So yeah.
Let's all just let that sit there and hang in the air for a minute because that is good advice. And the truth is, as a grown woman, that's what I need too. Like if I go to a friend or to my husband and I'm really upset and I'm freaking out, I don't want him to be like, well, you know what you need to do is blah, 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 blah. Here's a plan. I'm like, just hear me out first. So, okay, we need to listen and let you get it out. How about you, Avery? What do you need when you're upset?
Sort of like the same thing that Cassidy said, just for a minute you just need to say all the words super fast, because I talk really fast when I get upset. I just start saying as many words as I can, trying to get everything out. And then after that I just need to breathe for a minute. That's all I just get it all out in one blob of words for a minute.
Okay, let me ask you this. So I know we said you don't necessarily want like advice and you don't want to be fixed in the moment. You want to get it out. Is there anything that makes you kind of shut down that like could make you feel like, you know what, never mind, you're not the right place for me to go to with this. I can't bring this up to you. Like what would make you keep it to yourself and shut down?
Probably just like if they like invalidate your feelings, like, oh, like just it's not a big deal, don't worry about it, or like like you shouldn't be like worried about that, like just pull it together kind of thing. Like you want to
I'm feeling really bad right now and all the moms are going, oh no.
I don't think you've done that.
I know what you mean.
like if that were to happen, that would shut me down probably.
Totally. Because I do think sometimes as adults, we forget how intense those feelings were in middle school, in high school. And yes, looking back on that 10, 20, 30 years later, you have the perspective and the distance of time to be like, that really wasn't that big of a deal. But at the time, in the moment, it's a really big deal. Like you are upset, you are insecure. If somebody looked at you the wrong way or said something mean or sent a mean text or that group text got out of hand and you felt isolated or whatever, that feels like a really big deal in the moment, and it's real. And so it is hurtful, I think, when we as adults, we forget how real that is, and we're like, don't worry about that. That's not a big deal. You shouldn't be upset about that. Or the worst is, I mean, I know sometimes people have told me before, like, you shouldn't feel that way. And I'm like, but I do feel this way, so thanks. That's not helpful. So what maybe some ways we could be more helpful, and you guys tell me if you agree with this, is for us to first say, wow, that's really hard. I'm so sorry you're going through that. I'm so sorry you're feeling that way. All of those are ways that I think we can make you feel like my problem matters and it's real.
I feel like when I'm upset, I just don't want to be upset anymore. Like after I start getting upset, I'm like, I don't want to feel this way. I don't feel upset, but I can't help it. So I just want to like be someone make me happy in the moment.
Like for you, would it be helpful to hear something encouraging, to hear, I don't know.
I feel like, yeah, I guess just like encouragement and, you know, if someone asks you, hey, let's go do this, it's really fun. Like just take your mind off of it sort of.
Okay.
And do something that you enjoy doing, this kind of.
Because sometimes I think there's not much that we can do. Like the problem, maybe there's a relationship problem at school, and you know you're having a friend problem, and like I can't go fix it for you. And maybe I can later, when things calm down, I can say, hey, have you tried talking about this? Have you tried saying this? Have you tried this to resolve it? But yeah, in the moment, sometimes what's going to make you feel better is our solution is let's go to Starbucks. Let's go just do something fun that's a distraction and it's bonding for us and gets your mind off it a little, gives you some space and perspective. Maybe that's something you can try.
Just go do something fun that just kind of takes your mind off of it. Yeah. I don't know. That's something that helps me.
I always feel like things like seem so much worse like at night, and then like in the morning you feel like, oh, like I'm fine, like and then you can sort of like look at it more, I don't know. So sometimes like trying to deal with it all like at night like isn't very helpful. You're just like overwhelmed and tired and you just need to sleep.
Yes, amen. A great point. Actually, Dad and I have a rule that I'm not like a rule, but that I'm not allowed to have a serious conversation with him after 9 because I will get upset and start crying. Like it could be like we started talking about, hey kid, I need an extra $25 for groceries this 2 weeks, and then it suddenly balloons into this whole thing of we're broke and blah. Because I'm tired and I'm a little less rational. I'm not quite myself and I can't deal with problems as well. So that's great advice. So mamas maybe, or mentors, maybe that's something we can try is, hey, I totally hear you. That stinks. I'm so sorry. Is there anything else you want to share? Why don't we try to talk about this after a good night's sleep and see if we can come up with, some ideas, some perspectives, some Bible verses, some whatever that you need to help you kind of deal with it moving forward. Let's say you're having a conflict or something's really bothering you. What helps you bring God into that conversation? Like, or bring a faith perspective into that?
I would say just like maybe praying about it together, or like maybe like a little bit after when you sort of calm down, like giving them like scriptures to look at, or like, I don't know. I feel like in the moment, again, even though we want to bring God into it, sometimes it just makes us shut down. We just want to get it all out. We don't really want to think about fixing it yet. But like, so definitely like waiting a little bit and then like looking at scriptures, or I don't know. But I think prayer is something you can always do, because it doesn't seem like you're trying to like fix it. You're just like telling God about your problems.
I remember specifically a couple years ago, I want to say you were in 7th grade and you were really upset and feeling super lonely at school. I don't know if you remember this or not, but we were sitting on that couch over there and you were just so upset, and it wasn't something I could fix. Like I can't go make you feel less lonely at school. I can't fix whatever's happening with friendships. And I remember that like paralyzing feeling of helplessness. And that's the worst feeling when, you know, your daughter or a girl that you love in your life is really upset, and you know you can't do this for them, you can't fix it for them, can't make it better. I just remember actually having this a moment of epiphany when I remembered what my mom used to do for me. Whenever I would have those moments, I'd be super upset and I would talk myself into a corner. And I tended to be the kind of teen, I was very like, I would bat down. Anything my mom tried to say, I would be like, that won't work because of this. I think I was a very difficult teen to help. I was just defensive and like negative and didn't want to fix it, you know, just. But I remember my mom would always say, okay, well, let's just pray about it. So I remembered my mom doing that for me, and that's what we did. We just sat there on the couch and I prayed for you. I don't remember, you may have been too upset to even pray. I don't know. But I do know that both of us ended that prayer feeling better. Nothing in your situation had changed. It's not like 5 friends had shown up on the doorstep to hang out with you. But I think we both knew, hey, we've brought this to God. His eyes are on it in a special way. Not that they weren't before, but we really know that we've brought this to his attention. He's working, he's taking care of it. And so we felt that sense of peace. And I think it also helped you realize, hey, God cares. Like, God cares about middle school drama. God cares about that you're lonely at the lunch table. God cares that somebody looked sideways at you on the softball team or whoever, you know, that somebody didn't treat you right. God cares about your daily life. I do want to say, you know, moms and women who are helping teens, don't be afraid to open the Bible later on and say, you know, like after the storm has passed, not in the middle of it, but after the storm has passed, to go back and say, you know, I've been thinking about what we talked about the other day, and I thought of a scripture that I think might encourage you. That's a great way that we can sort of usher our girls into a walk with God where they see that the Bible matters, that the Bible can help with every single problem.
So Mom, like we've been talking about how like helpful things for you to do when we're in our feelings, but like what's helpful for us to do to express them to you, or what's hurtful?
That's a good question. Okay. You know, I think sometimes the temptation when you're really upset can be to like transfer all your upset on the person you're talking to. Like say you're mad at your friend, but then suddenly you're mad at everyone. So maybe just remembering that the person you're talking to, your mom, we'll say your mom because that's us, that I'm not your enemy. I'm not the one who made you mad. So share it in such a way that like you don't have to be angry with me. You can be angry with your friend or whoever hurt you, or, you know, angry with a situation, but maybe not projecting that anger on the person you're sharing with. I mean, I think the thing I did wrong a lot with my mom was I tended to just, like I said, bat away all of her advice and just be like, that won't help because blah, blah, blah. You don't understand. Instead of being humble, I think I was prideful, and I needed to be more humble and just listen and say, okay, maybe she has valid advice. Maybe her perspective can help me. Let me try to hear even though I'm upset. So a verse that we turn to a lot in our family is Colossians 3, verse 12. Therefore, as God's chosen people, holy and dearly loved, clothe yourselves with compassion, kindness, humility, gentleness, and patience. Think about those qualities: compassion, kindness, humility, gentleness, patience. If the daughters are trying to embrace those qualities when they're in the middle of a storm, if moms are trying to embrace those qualities when we're guiding and helping and listening, things are going to go a lot better. Not that we do it perfectly, we all sin. It's a little messy, but if we can try to remember those qualities, that makes a big difference. And then it says, I love this, bear with each other and forgive whatever grievances you may have against one another. Forgive as the Lord forgave you. And over all these virtues, put on love, which binds them all together in perfect unity. You know, sometimes there is an element in family life that we bear with one another, that we sort of say, hey, this is where this person is at right now, and I'm gonna be patient, and I'm gonna listen again. Even if we've had the same conversation 12 times in the last week, I'm gonna keep listening. I'm gonna bear with you, I'm gonna let you grow, just as I need people to bear with me when I'm a mess and in my feelings. So I think that patience and perspective go a long way in helping our family. All right, so here's our question for you. We would love to hear in the comments, what is one way that, if you're a teen, what's one thing that your mom or the woman in your life does great? What's something you really appreciate that she does when you're in the middle of an emotional storm? And for moms, maybe you could share what's something you really love about your daughter, or if you're like or your granddaughter, the girl in your life, what's something that you really admire and appreciate about her? So we would love to hear from you in the comments. I'm gonna post a really fantastic article, a link to a really fantastic article that has helped me a lot. It's about helping girls in the middle of emotional storms. You might find it helpful. It's written by a psychologist. And I'm also going to link just a few blog posts and some quizzes on how drama prone are you that you might have fun taking from my website, and that might be a good starting point for some discussion together at home. So we hope this has encouraged you. Thank you for coming and sharing all the feels together with us. Thank you to Cassidy and Avery for being here and sharing your hearts. We look forward to sharing all the feels together with you in the days to come.